Welcome to the Scoop Zone, where our panel discusses the most recent entertainment scoops from Mikey, Sutton's Geekosity.com. And now, your hosts, Keith and Gary. Right, I'm all done here.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Scoop Zone here on Pop Culture Minefield. We've got the lovely Arwen here, who is basically got the vapors. She's got the vapors. I've got the vapors, honey. Oh my Lord. Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
Thank you.
And then we got the always amazing 24/7 Fusion Media.
Right. Sir. Appreciate
it. And then that guy I work with, Keith, he's here. And
my man. There you go.
So we are here to talk about scoops from Mikey Sutton Scoops from Geekositymag.com. And but before we get into it, I thought have a little fun and watch the new trailer for Stranger Things and have our reaction. So I hope everybody has their in-flight barf bags, just in case if it sucks really bad. And here we go. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Excited.
Wow. Yeah.
Visually it looks really amazing, but I feel completely emotionally disconnected from it, even with the use of Journey.
Gary, then you're just dead.
I
You're
am
just
not.
dead. That Journey song.
Keith will tell you, I get emotional over a really good trailer. I felt nothing for that, and it bugged me. I see all the little things that they're doing. You got Hellraiser here. You've got a little bit of It with that house.
Yeah.
They're touching on some classic stuff, things that I love. But once again, it's starting to come across as member berries rather than a good use or homage to something. So I'm not sure yet. I need to see another trailer before I can connect with this personally.
I'm also getting some Pet Sematary vibes. I'm getting lots of
that too.
Yes.
Well, the guy coming down reminds me of Pinhead. You know, has that the gravitas of fucking Pinhead coming down like that. Because I remember Pinhead coming down like that once, and I don't know, man. I'm just I am not worn out of Stranger Things because I fucking love that show. But I was really disappointed with what they did last season on a couple of things. One of them was such a cop-out with Maya Hawke and what's his name? Joey Keery, the stud kid, you know, because they have a thing. It's clear they have a thing, and then they completely pussy out and turn her into like this. I like girls. Yeah, the chemistry we have, that was all for show. And it's like they showed chemistry between those two all the way through, and then all of a sudden they just chicken shit out and make her gay at the end of the. And it's like, I don't care if somebody is gay, they're gay. I don't care. But when you just suddenly decide to do it because it's like you pop it in there like fucking insanity. You have these two characters, you worked and nurtured their chemistry, and then you just tore them apart by something stupid like that. But it looks like maybe they listen to the fans because a lot of fans complained about that. If you weren't aware. How about you, Freddy Krueger?
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Now, hear me out, okay?
Of course
I started this show back when it first came out. Now, my late husband.
I want you to remember she responded to Freddy Krueger.
It's fine. I call this my Freddy Krueger sweater. It's all good. It's all good. I'm in that mood. I started it. And my late husband watched it all the way through, so he told me a lot about it and blah, blah, blah. But I had other things going on, so I didn't continue it. It fell by the wayside. And honestly, I forgot about it until this trailer dropped. And this is
we had an extra lengthy break. It was an extra lengthy break because of a certain bug. So.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, the one thing.
Excited.
I am hoping they rectify the mistake they made last season, because it was a huge mistake. Because look, when you create an arc, when you suddenly cut that arc off, people notice it, and it makes them very unhappy because people are psychologically trained to follow the theme an arc. And when you alter the arc, it's like Darth Vader and what's his name? Billy D. Williams. It's like, pray I don't alter it any further.
Yeah.
You know?
They did the same thing in Karate Kid 3. Daniel Sutton and the girl that they were setting up.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's like, I'm sorry, my boyfriend called. We're getting back together. And I'm like, huh? What? And
that is something that movie got called on big time because that's an arc. You know, the relationship arc.
You're rooting for these people. You want them. You see what they're going through. You see their chemistry. You want them to get together. And then when they don't over something like that, it's like, come on now. There's something else that's at play here. But
exactly. Like and of course, one of the biggest ones, we don't get very much of David Harbour in it. Despite him being a dipshit in real life, I fucking love him as an actor. And God, man, he is good. But he is a fucking idiot. It's like so many people. They don't have that filter anymore of a publicist manager. Even though, once again, I want to point out, Mel Gibson hired one. So he doesn't fucking say stupid shit drunk in public again. So he's doing an interview and somebody asked him about Will Smith and his publicist stepped in and goes, I'm sorry, this interview is over. Thank you for having us. And Mel Gibson's like, pointing at the camera, shaking his head. It was funny as hell. I laughed my ass off going, yeah, she's like, no, Mel, no. So 24, your thoughts on the trailer?
Actually, I like Stranger Things. So, what was that the last time season? What was that? That was season 3, right?
Yeah, season 3.
That was what, 2019?
Almost 2 years ago. So they're all teenagers, high school kids now. They've grown up.
So it's it's wow.
Yeah, I think the producers of the show, they're creepy dudes. If you ever see them in interviews, there's something wrong with them. I swear to God. And their fixation with teens and kids, it's just weird when you hear them talk about it. It's not like a parent who's just relishing their kids. It's really kind of weird. It was that extra show they had on Netflix, the interview show.
Yeah.
Remember, I watched like one time and I'm like, oh, this is weird. I'm not getting
You know what? If I were David Zaslav, I would hire those guys to do a Clarion the Witch Boy movie.
You wouldn't you wouldn't hire him for something else, just that one?
Yeah, Clarion the Witch Boy. Come on, man. I mean, he's a great villain.
24 like that one.
Holy shit.
So that's the one you're going with. Okay. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that. But it is time to get into our scoops. So here we go. Boom, baby. Now, some major stuff happened today, and we'll be getting into it in a second. But up front, I want to go ahead and go into this Joylyn Francisco article. Will Grant Gustin replace Ezra Miller as the Flash? And many fans want Grant Gustin to replace Ezra Miller as the cinematic Flash. Sources revealed that Warner Brothers discussed Grant Gustin as a possibility, and I told you that they would. But I don't even need to finish reading this. There's a reason why he would never be cast, and that's because it's the metrics. It's purely metrics. Because, look, man, 500,000 viewers doesn't equal to $1 billion box office.
Mm-hmm.
That's a horrible, painful, but solid truth. And, he gets solid 500,000 views on that show, but that doesn't, to Warner Brothers, they're like, yeah, that doesn't translate. Yeah, we need somebody that's got a bigger name, somebody young, energetic. And the reason we say this right now is because there's another article on the horizon right here. DC Comics has canceled the Flash comic book prequel featuring Ezra Miller's Scarlet Speedster. It is officially canceled. And I think we all kind of saw the writing on the wall on this one because Zaslav. The rumor is Zaslav wanted him fired already and was pissed that he wasn't fired. One of the many reasons why Ann Sarnoff was giving her marching orders: get the fuck out. Don't let the door hit you on the way out either. So let's take a look at what's going on here, because we are looking at the early stages of, and I believe this is what I think is happening, the early stages of AT&T throttling the shit out of Warner Brothers and taking control. Am I correct in thinking this, Keith?
Yes. I mean, it's happening. And it's not going to be subtle. It's not going to be pretty. We've
called it the Red Wedding. We
pretty much.
We refer to it as the Red Wedding.
Yeah, it's pretty much just going to be very indiscriminate. If you're an idiot, he doesn't need you. He doesn't want you. And if you've cost him money, you really got to hit the door. So
exactly. Now, the one person that looks like they're not going
for now
is Toby Emmerich.
Yeah.
And Toby, I just was updated with fact that he has a new 4-year contract.
Yeah.
So, because I had heard word that he was planning to leave in December, when his original contract was due in December, but he signed a new contract since then that I was unaware of. So
probably for less money.
We've got him for 4 more fucking years. I'm hoping upon hopes that even though Zaslav is friends with him, look what Zaslav did at CNN. Fired his best friend, his golfing buddy. You know, that he's going to get rid of Toby because Toby is part of this problem. Or am I wrong?
Oh, Toby is part of the problem. This whole thing about your personal point of view and wants and needs is at the root of a lot of the problems that they've had moving forward. Look, it's safe to say that if you were wanting to get rid of the Snyderverse, that's one thing. But acting like a petulant child, not wanting to renegotiate with Henry Cavill because you found him to be problematic, I'm still trying to figure out what that means, Ann Sarnoff. He's a up-and-coming star. You would have had him for cheap if you had signed him to a 10-year deal way back in 2018. It's going to cost you now that he's brought The Rock with him and their agent. It's definitely going to cost. So, as Zaslav knows that, he's willing to pay the price. But it's stuff like that, you know, that you can't get past the fact that the Joker deal alone should have gotten Wally fired.
Oh,
How do you make a movie that
Warner
grosses
made
over $1 billion
off that film?
Yeah, that grosses over $1 billion, and yet you, the company that actually owns the IP rights to the character, make less than nothing off of it. How does that happen? I'm not even his boss, and I'm wanting to tear off a piece of him verbally. It's like, what are you doing? You know?
Man, I tell you, they smoke a lot of crack at that studio. I'm telling you, man. It's crack. 24, come on, man. I know you got something in you on this.
No, actually, I'm just glad that the changes are happening. Yeah, this thing looks like the way when AT&T first merged in 2019, you know, with Warner Brothers and all that, there was heads rolling at that point, and on all levels, talking about the comic book industry, all the way through to whoever, and it reminds me of that, but on a whole different scale. But it is, you know, but I'm talking as far as like the massacre. Yeah, it looks, and I heard that it's far from over with. So there's a lot
of
more
people
heads
didn't
are
think
going
it
to
was
roll.
coming, but with Ann Sarnoff, man,
Right.
it's you're seeing it now. Arwen, what do you think?
I know this is really going to sound incredibly simplistic and naive, but I just think they all need to get their shit together and get on the same page with that, you know?
Well, the only way to do that is by shit canning the people that are making bad decisions.
Well, exactly.
You will find all the underlings will always fall into place.
Yeah.
You're the new boss? Oh, whatever you say.
They're going to do whatever. Yeah. So it's the people in key positions that you need to look at and say, okay, what is your vision? oh, this is your vision. This doesn't line up with my vision. Bye. Because it's about making money. At the end of the day, it should be about making money
and not
and good
identity
entertainment.
politics.
Thank you.
Amen.
Yes.
What I have heard is that there could be something to this. There could be a little bit of hope for DC fans in all of this. That Zaslav may have the idea of actually having a studio for DC rather than keeping them a part of Warner Films. That's what I've heard. The rumor is
wonderful.
If they were their own separate studio,
go the Marvel,
exactly.
the Marvel way.
Exactly.
Then they don't have to fall under the purview of Toby, and if and when Wally overstays his welcome, you can easily either remove him or just move all of DC Studios with someone else in charge.
Well, from what I've heard, still the rumors from within the system is that he's leaving in June. So we'll see if Wally is here or gone. But I did want to put this up for a second because I don't know. I find this interesting. There's a website called Fandom Wire. Not a fan. So they've got a list of fan favorite actors that could be recast in the Ezra Miller role. So number one is Grant Gustin, which is it's not going to happen. Tom Holland.
Not going to happen.
Man, he's already Spider-Man. Ain't going to happen. I don't know who this kid is, Dylan O'Brien.
Oh, Dylan O'Brien? He would be a good choice. Good choice. Not a great choice, but he would be a good choice.
He's too old. Liam Hemsworth is too old.
I don't see him as...
He's almost in his... I think he's in his 30s now.
Yeah.
Now, Timothée Chalamet, I like him as an actor, but he's not a very energetic actor.
He's too expensive.
Actor.
Yeah.
And that's their list.
Yeah. No.
You guys got any fan favorites that you think would be good for it?
Well, I don't know
anyone that I'd be like, oh yeah, him. I don't know. Now, to be fair, that out of that list, there are some that definitely have the acting chops to pull it off, but I don't know that necessarily makes them right for that role. Does that make sense?
Plus, you can't.
But yeah.
Well, you shouldn't try to hire anybody that looks like Ezra Miller. The outside of Timothée Chalamet's talent, he looks way too much like Ezra Miller if you put him in the costume. It wouldn't work out. Timothée Chalamet, if you were to convince him to be any other DC hero, I would see him clearly as Nightwing. He would make a very good Nightwing.
What about Wolf?
Finn Wolfhard?
I can't stand his last name. I really can't stand it. He's a good actor. I think he's good. I just hate his fucking name.
I don't know.
He'd be interesting. He would be interesting, although he looks kind of young next to the young actress who you've already hired.
I would like to see.
What I was thinking, he does look
as Iris.
Isn't he older than he looks? Isn't he or is he? I don't know.
Finn Wolfhard?
Yeah,
no, he's a teenager. I think he's 18
he's a teenager. I think he's close to being legal now, but I mean.
Oh, okay.
He was born in 02. I know you're wishful thinking, Arwen. You pervert.
Oh, Gary, no,
No.
I like my
Cougar.
legal. Thank you very much. Shut up. Oh my God.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. I mean, if you're going to recast, it is possible to recast big. One of the things that was offered when they were going to make Star Trek the motion picture was back when they were trying to decide how they wanted to proceed with a movie version of Star Trek. It was suggested from above that they go ahead and hire Walter Matthau, Martin Landau, and Robert Redford because they could open a film.
Right.
Walter Matthau to be Bones McCoy, Martin Landau, who was actually up for the part of Spock originally, about 12 years earlier, would be Spock, and Robert Redford as Captain James T. Kirk. is what the thinking
hate
was.
this. It sounds terrible.
No, I actually kind of liked it. I thought, wow, Martin Landau would make a good Spock, but too expensive.
The original
Well, you got to remember they were TV actors, and they were spending a lot of money for a film at that time.
I mean,
And
true.
It's easy for us to say this now because we're looking back in hindsight.
Yeah.
But what you're talking about is a television series that got canceled in 1969. So this is what I'm talking 1977 at the Paramount offices. You're going to make a movie and spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay? Their thing is in order to open a movie big, you got to have movie actors. So that was their thinking. And the only reason why they went with the television actors was because the amount of money that they thought they were going to have to spend made it almost impossible for them to be able to afford all of these actors.
That makes
sense. So it was cheaper just to go with the TV actors.
Cheaper to keep.
And they made the right decision, though. Like you said, I know it's hindsight, but dang, they did the right thing.
Yeah, well, I guess we can move on now. Let's get on to this next subject here. Oops, I did not mean to do that one. I meant to do that. There we go. Fixed it. Christian Bale's villain Gorr in Thor, Love and Thunder revealed. God, what a stupid name. I
know. I hate it. I shudder every time I hear it.
It's hard to even actually say. You know, it's almost a tongue twister.
That name is my Finn Wolfhard, is Love and Thunder. I just can't.
So here's the character that Christian Bale is playing. The action figure is, I don't know if it'll let me click on it, but it looks really cool.
Blow it
up. According to what I've read, the toys are not selling, which is a bad sign for the movie.
Well, I mean, when's the movie supposed to come out?
I want to see what the actual action figure look like. If you don't, damn.
Open image in new tab.
Well, okay. The one on the left is what the action figure looks like.
That's bad.
And then what you have on the right, I think, might be
the comic book. Wow. Oh,
this is a CGI version of the character.
Oh, so that. Wait a minute. But if they wait. But see, if they're already making the toy of this character, then that's how he's going to actually look like.
Yeah, well, it's Christian Bale. You at least got to transform the character into some familiar. You got to be able to see Christian Bale's face. That's the whole big thing about casting major actors.
Here's all the toys they've got so far. You got Mighty Thor, which is what's her name?
Mm-hmm.
Young Groot. Then you have Gorr. Then you have King Valkyrie. Star-Lord, of course, making an appearance with Ravager Thor. And then Ravager Thor becomes Thor again, I guess, at the end of the movie.
What the hell is a Ravager Thor? What's that?
That's part of the Ravagers.
His armor.
He's going to be with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's Ravager. Right. He's still part of their crew.
He's still part of the crew. So he's going to be a Ravager. So by the time we catch up with him, he would have been with them for a little bit of time. I think, there's going to be a few years that have passed since the end of Endgame. So he will have been.
Is that the look that he has when he's looking like Thunderstrike? The leather jacket, no sleeves.
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa.
What?
Did you see the news just come up?
No.
What? Oh my gosh. Gilbert Gottfried just passed away.
What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
I'm
sorry. I didn't mean to break it like that, but...
Damn.
Is what it is. Wow. What a great guy. I always felt bad for him, he makes one ridiculous joke. It wasn't even that bad. And all of a sudden loses his career and everybody shits all over him.
Wow.
But anyway, We got Marvel Voices anthology features Shang-Chi and other Asian superheroes. This is by Joy Lynn Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we've read so far is from the Franciscos. So, Asian American superheroes such as Shang-Chi and Ms. Marvel highlight the next Marvel Voices anthology. May is Asian American and Pacific Islander. Thus, Marvel Comics will showcase their top AAPI superheroes in the second Marvel Voices anthology, which I'm assuming this is a comic.
Yeah.
Okay, this is something I won't be reading. I don't read comics anymore. I read graphic novels, man. So this is neat. You guys got any thoughts on this?
Silk is definitely going to be one of the major characters that I think Sony is really, really trying to push. I like that character. You know, I think she's a fantastic character. I like how she kind of is woven in naturally.
Her name is Silk, and she's woven in.
with Peter Parker, more so than even Miles Morales. And her powers and everything else are they're fun.
Right.
They're not OP like Miles Morales sometimes is. Not that I hate Miles. Miles is a cool character, but there is a natural fit with Silk in that you can buy into the fact that she has some powers, but she's not OP, and she has an incredible story. So it'd be great to actually see her on the screen with Peter, with Miles, and with everyone else, you know. Overall, though, this comic, I wouldn't mind having it, you know. Some great characters that Marvel's launched over the decades. So,
yeah. So, any thoughts there, 24?
None at all, man.
None at all. I think we are all not happy with a lot of this news today. This next one is one that we've made fun of previously, but it's a news. Tom Cruise is in talks to play Iron Man in Secret Wars.
I can do that.
This is based on this story, which we had crickets playing on. Tom Cruise will play a new Iron Man in Doctor Strange sequel. So there we go. He's got his new Top Gun film coming out. Looks good. I got to be honest. I'm looking forward to it. But this, it's hard for me to get excited about it. But he's superior Iron Man, and I do think that would be neat to see that character come out.
I'm digging it. I'm with 24 on this one. I'm digging this. You know, look, considering how long he was actually attached to the Iron Man project originally, yeah, you know what? This is right up there with Nick Cage and the whole Superman thing. You know, if he still wants to do it, do it. Might as well. It doesn't look like Robert Downey Jr. is coming back anytime soon. So,
yeah, the only thing we've heard so far is Ironheart.
Yeah, actually, I heard.
I'll go with more Tom Cruise if you don't mind.
Right. Yeah, actually, you know the way Tom Cruise doesn't fuck around. I would like to see him. You know, because he'll be.
It'll be another movie with him running.
Yeah, but I could see him in the suit doing his thing as Iron Man. But I could see him if he gives it the way he gives it when he's fucking Ethan Hawke or whatever. Then Ethan Hawke, right?
No. But
No.
the roll, I'm rolling with
Yeah. The Mission Impossible. Yeah, if he just imagine, that kind of fire and being Tony Stark in a different version of Iron Man. I mean,
that's
come
more
on, man.
ridiculous than the theory of why Tom Cruise runs in all his movies.
Oh. He has it in him. Shit, it was like watching Sylvester Stallone running in fucking Rambo when he did. I was impressed. I was like, yo, this motherfucker's
at his age being able to look like, I mean, you know what? I hope I'm able to move like that. Again, for me personally, I would rather see him in Iron Man rather than making a movie about a young girl of color who has to steal the technology.
Yeah,
so
I'm
that she
so
can be
tired of
better.
this shit.
I mean, fair
Like
enough.
Batwoman, it's like she steals someone else's tech and then proclaims that women don't need men. It's like that's the dumbest stance you could ever fucking make.
Yeah.
You just
Well, you know,
stole someone's tech to become Batwoman. You didn't
Yeah.
invent it. You didn't create it. But
Having
anyway,
a
here's
smart.
Tom Cruise.
Oh,
The answer to Tom Cruise.
Wow, that cameraman has nice, strong arms. You can't catch me, gay thoughts.
Okay. On that note, I want to chime in here on this.
All right.
Love that. And I won't lie, part of me is like, no, because, Downey Jr. has forever captured that character, and I can't see anyone else in there. But there's a reason why. Okay, not that Tom Cruise couldn't do a good acting job. Again, the man's got chops. No matter what you think of him personally, he's a very fine actor, and he's been years at his craft. So he could probably do it fine. But he, to me, when I look at him and I look at Downey Jr., there's a scruffiness and an everyday man quality that Downey Jr., even though he was the rich playboy, blah, 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 that he brought to that character. He brought that emotional connection that I do think Tom Cruise, again, he can act it, but physically, he's just all teeth and smiles. He's almost too pretty for the role. And I know that sounds nitpicky, and I know that, but I cannot see him as Iron Man. I just can't.
well, all right. Did you read the comics before the movies?
No, I haven't read the comics.
Okay.
I have not read
There,
the comics.
I will
So,
say
I'm
this:
assuming
Robert
that-
Downey Jr. has done a very good job of capturing a part
Okay.
of the character. Okay.
Fair.
He brought his own natural comedy and everything to that. That whole comedic being able to say funny things, that's not actually a part of the character. In fact, Tony Stark is an asshole in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
He is
Yes, he
not a
is.
nice guy.
No, it's
I've
not.
heard that. I get that.
And
But-
he's someone who, there's one thing that they did not decide to do with Robert Downey Jr. with the character that is a major part of the character, which is the whole demon in the bottle storyline. I wish they had done that because his drinking became a part of who he was, and given what he ended up doing,
Yeah, they only kind of allude to it.
they allude to it. Given the fact that in the original Civil War comic, what Tony did to Steve is about as underhanded as you could ever be as any character in comics, because nobody saw that coming. And what he did to Peter was just wrong. And ultimately, he destroyed all these other people's lives for a reason of his own. So he outed Peter. Steve died. And he changed all these other lives just because he wanted control of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, I mean that's a fair assessment, but it still doesn't negate what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
watch Tony Stark because he was funny.
Yes.
That wasn't my connection with him.
Yeah.
Because Downey Jr. even had, you saw those assholish
Well,
comments.
it's Downey
But
is
here's part of the problem. Okay, I'm sorry, Gary, but I want to go ahead and bring that
Yeah.
up. There's part of the problem then. If you have a comic book character that's very well established, and then a studio takes that character, changes it, and casts someone that is just brilliant in what they've made it to be, then you're going to have people like me who
Well, that's
doesn't
how they
have
own the
that comic
character,
book
exactly.
history, who's going to be like, Downey Jr. versus Tom Cruise. Not saying Downey Jr. needs to come back. I'm just saying I cannot see Tom Cruise.
This is
Iron
the
Man.
same thing
But
that
that's-
happened to every actor who's played the Joker. You
Joker,
it's-
Superman,
nobody could see
Batman.
Anybody else? And the fact is
You're good at it. Yeah, that is definitely.
Well,
Robert Downey Jr. is an everyman. He's that guy that's easy to identify with, no matter what role he plays. Even when he's
Yeah.
the loser
Well-
asshole, like in Less Than Zero. You still identify with him and sympathize with him.
He's got that
Tom
vulnerability
Cruise-
that he gets across.
Tom Cruise comes across as a little more clean cut, more straightforward. He's intense with his characters. His portrayals
Yes.
are always intense.
Sure.
And he's not always that likable. He's not what you would call an affable person in
True.
real life or when he's portraying him, because many of these actors are just playing variations of their actual personality.
Mm-hmm.
Downey does. Downey's playing Downey is Iron Man. And Tom Cruise, like Harrison Ford, is just playing a version of himself in every film,
Good
which
point.
is why he's really hard to like in some of his characters. But there it is. And I agree with you on a lot of that. So there you go.
But see, the big thing with Tom Cruise getting in the role is he's not playing Tony Stark. He's playing an evil version. So
Yeah,
it's like
alternate universe.
right. So it's an alternate universe version, which changes up the whole thing completely. Instead of just seeing,
He's
the
called
same
Supreme Iron Man for a reason.
thought it was Superior.
Or Superior, I'm sorry. He's called
Right,
Superior for a reason because he actually sees himself that way.
Well, that's basically what he was becoming within the regular Marvel comics. Like I said, after Civil War, when he does that whole speech next to Steve's body and he begins to show even the readers exactly how we got here, which led to the death of Steve Rogers. And even though he's a little sorry, he's not sorry for what he ended up gaining after all of that. You just tricked a young man into revealing his identity, and then you screwed his life, which is what he did to Peter Parker on television. He had Peter unmasked.
Yeah, they're going to have trouble
on
with a
TV.
lot of this shit because when they bring Secret Wars, a lot of the stuff Tony Stark did, they're going to be handed off. I don't know who's.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to play
gonna
that
do it.
part, but Tony can be a right.
They could maybe they can hand that off to maybe Superior Iron Man might take his place in Secret Wars and do those things because he's already an asshole. So
I think in the Secret Wars they already have Don Cheadle in there. So what makes you think that maybe they won't pass off whatever Tony's supposed to be doing? Make Don Cheadle do it.
Opening a movie, if you're going to spend a lot of money on Secret Wars, you need stars in there that can open. And I think Secret Wars might be the last of the big Marvel
I think
films.
he's going to end up still being heroic personally because his character arc seems to be heading in a different direction than what was going on with Tony. So I don't think they'll do that. I think that's probably why they're talking to Tom Cruise to become that version of Iron Man from the Secret Wars. So
to make it easier for Tony to do a lot of the really crooked
shit. Okay,
stuff.
Y'all think Cruise still has that kind of pull for a general audience member? 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of him. Again, I think he's a great actor. But
Cruise
he
is
really
one of
tweaked, and
I think that he's definitely got it. We need to move on.
yeah.
We need to move on. The next one is the MCU Easter eggs discovered in Moon Knight. Sharp Eyes discovered MCU Easter eggs in Moon Knight. In other words, Moon Knight definitely takes place in the MCU. Of course, one of those is the castle that was caught. Mikey Sutton's talked about that one. But, some neat stuff here. So, Marvel Studios connects the films and TV series together. They have even made a huge effort to connect the Sony Marvel universe to theirs. Fans expect every film and TV program, either live action or animated, to have connection. Well, that includes Fox too, not just when you say animated. Either live action or animated to have connection with MCU. However, Marvel TV once promoted series like Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Netflix's Defenders Gang is being attached to the MCU. Remember, it's all connected. Well, they were kind of connected anyway because they were, they started out saying that they were in the same universe as all the movies.
The Darkhold book made its debut in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and you
That's
saw it
right.
in WandaVision, and then you realize that the missing book from the first Doctor Strange movie
Yep.
is actually the Darkhold.
Darkhold. That's
So
right.
it's kind of connected through all of that.
We were some of the early ones that talked about that.
Yeah.
Along with, thanks to our friend Paul over at Heavy Spoilers, because he's the one I think that scooped that first. Moon Knight producers and cast members revealed the show is separate from the MCU. It's an unusual move. Moon Knight producer Grant Curtis said there's no attachment to the current MCU. He's brand new and he's going on a brand new adventure we really think the fans are going to enjoy. Actor Ethan Hawke, who plays Arthur Harrow, added, I love, when you first see Iron Man or when I first saw Black Panther, where I don't know the origin story. I don't know all the characters. I get to really be told a new legend. And I was so happy when we first talked about this and that it was disconnected because it gives us so much more freedom. And as an audience member, it's what you want, or I want. I want to know what's going to happen. This is likely a misinterpretation. Certainly Moon Knight isn't part of the larger story arc a la Avengers Infinity War. Furthermore, no other MCU superheroes have appeared yet. Nevertheless, there are Easter eggs in addition, and they aren't subtle. Still, all this talk of disconnected Moon Knight worries some fans. Indeed, they might feel confused with that move, and I would. After all, every production of the Marvel Studios had some type of link to the MCU. These may be in any form, from the mention of another superhero or location specific to the MCU. Also, they could see an object related to another character. And, so we see here a map that's the history of Wakanda, the old and new magic of Asgard, plus the castle from Doctor Doom. And another one is, of course, there is a direct link, literally, in the show to the werewolf.
Yeah, Werewolf by Night. There's a QR code.
Yep. And so
yeah.
they're not being subtle at all.
Yeah.
So I agree. Who wrote this one again? It's Edwin. I agree with Edwin here. So good job, Edwin. And so, I mean, what do you guys think? Are you falling for the comment that it's not connected, or are you thinking like Keith and I are, that it's definitely connected?
I think it's definitely connected. Now, what they'll do with it is yet to be seen. But yeah, I think there's a connection. Otherwise, why have all those things there in the first place, except for people to look and go, oh, did you see what I see? And start talking about it. And yeah, I think it's connected.
Well, here's another one. And this is connected to the whole thing. And I really want to get your thoughts on this, 24, because I got excited when I read this. There it is. Funko Pop proves spoiler appears in Moon Knight. And of course, what that is the werewolf. Werewolf by Night. And the Funko Pop toys have, let's see, Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, Arthur Harrow, Layla Elf, I can't pronounce that last name, Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, and where, I don't see it. Where else? Is it Arthur Harrow that is from Werewolf by Night? Which one is from Werewolf by Night?
They got a new guy. Sounds like a Spanish guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, let me read this. Anticipation of the remaining episodes are understandably high right now. And I'm loving the show. I really am. It says here, Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, Arthur Harrow, and Layla were all from Werewolf by Night. So there we go. So having those names in there tells you that Werewolf by Night's coming. And the rumor that we've heard, and as I recall, you said something about this before, 24, that about the Halloween special.
Right. So yeah, that's a spot where he'll definitely get introduced
It is logical to do it on the Halloween special.
Right.
We need some werewolves for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But,
just wonder what they'll do with that. I don't know, man. It's interesting how they would come up with something like that, but would it be something? You remember like that Itchy Bob Crane, the headless horseman deal that you'd see in on around Halloween time?
Yeah, the Disney short. Yeah.
In the old Disney short. Would it be something on that level?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think that I don't one, and I
Because it's
don't.
being
I don't
shown
know if
on
you're
Disney
referring
Plus,
this.
right?
I don't think it'll be animated. I think it'll be live action.
Right, it'll
But
be
I
live
think it'll be a
action.
full hour. I think it'll be a full hour,
Right.
and it should be Moon Knight dealing with a situation where the werewolf is making its first appearance, and he's got.
But
to
on
fight
Disney
it.
Plus, right?
Yeah, but we've already seen it. They have already added the filters. We're seeing the filters now on Disney.
Well, I think we're also going to be soon, I think, introduced to Blade as well. I think they are slowly bringing together the Midnight Suns.
Right.
And by the way, it was confirmed on another show that you were right, Keith, that's not Blade with the Illuminati. That it's what's his name from Doctor Strange, his buddy.
Yeah.
So now that we've come to the end of this week because we didn't have that many, but I wanted to point out I was looking up something about a certain producer showrunner that I don't think any of us like. And when I did, I almost shit my pants when I saw what was listed on his fucking page on IMDb. And that is none other than Alex I Suck Kurtzman. And what's with Kirk grabbing Spock's boob here? What's up with that? Did Spock tell him it was okay for him to do that?
Wow.
Right here. I'm going to zoom in. This is fucking nuts, dude. Look at this.
I'm telling you, after completely gutting and dismantling and destroying the Dark Universe for Universal, and they're going to give him another shot at it.
I've put a request in. I've put a request into Mikey. He's going to look into it because it is my hope that this is bullshit. That somebody did this trolling. Somebody got access to. Anybody that's got an account, I have one, can go in and update things and add things. You have to answer questions correctly. So, is this legitimate? We don't know. It says it's announced. I'd like to know why we've not heard a fucking thing about it. But Mikey is going to check on it to see if this is full of shit or real. But if it is real, I'm telling you, man,
God.
It's bad enough what he's done already. And Universal, come on, man. Don't be dumb. Please don't be dumb.
You've already been burned by him once, and it cost you guys a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money.
And it's like everybody wants to talk about like how Blumhouse has just knocked it out of the park with their monster verse, and it didn't fucking work. I warned, and said it wouldn't work. The Invisible Man. First of all, that's not the Invisible Man. That movie. It has nothing to do with what H.G. Wells wrote. It has no connection, save by name, to do with the Invisible Man. It was a terrible film. It had oh my God, I cannot stand plots that require a character to have to be at an exact place and moment in order for it to work. And that's how the ending was. It's like if the bad guy wasn't sitting at the table in that exact seat, sitting in the exact position he was in, holding a knife, the ending of that movie wouldn't work.
You mean like that special knife from the final Star Wars film that they had? Rise of Skywalker, where you have to just be in the right place in the right position.
You're making me make a face, Keith. Stop. I'm making a face now. But
Ray Palpatine, nothing like her.
Yeah.
I'm Ray Skywalker. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You don't just get to take somebody's name. There are laws against that, motherfucker.
I just, Kathleen.
I don't want to see any of that done by him. None of it. None of it. Oh my God.
Well, we are now at a point where we're either ending the show or we're going to do a State of the Union of Comics with none other than 24/7 Fusion Media. Do you have something you want to talk about this week, my friend?
Did we break him? Did we break him?
I just want
He just sits there staring at us like, fuck you.
No, man, no.
I mean, we could talk about Carmen. No.
No, shut up, Keith. This is 24's moment.
That's 24's moment.
No, I'm.
Do you have Werewolf by Night? Any issues?
No, I don't. I don't have
You're
any
stuck.
Werewolf by Night or any
I can't
Moon Knight.
believe you.
Oh no, I don't own any
No
of
worries,
those.
brother. We had a good episode. It's pretty much an hour long. Perfect. So I think that we could have stretched it to exactly 1 hour, but out of heck with it. Well, all right, what the fuck do you have, Keith? Jesus Christ.
I was kidding earlier. No, I was just going to say, it's Carmine Infantino, everybody. Our favorite artist. You got to pick up the book. You got to learn who Carmine Infantino was.
Oh my God, that
he...
thing is fucking up your green screen right now.
Wow. It is.
We can't
You can actually almost see me
a
through
little
it.
bit of it.
That's
Anyway.
I wonder what's doing that. It's weird. Oh, you can't even see it, dude. You can't even see it.
Oh, Adam Strange. Hold on.
No,
There
the
we
problem
go.
is it's the background is
Yeah.
messing with you. So, ooh, that's nice. I mean, he's a great fucking artist, dude. So
He
yeah.
was, and
Get that
respected
book.
by all kinds of people within the industry. And I gotta say, Carmine, great DC artist, great
Man, I
collaborator.
love that artwork.
That ain't working.
I love that
Ink
character so much as a kid. Him and Elastic Man. I had this period of about a year where that's all I wanted to read was Dead Man and Elastic Man comics.
Wouldn't that be great if they went ahead and just made a Dead
And
Man
I'm
movie?
certain that was Carmine Infantino that drew those comics that I read.
It'd be great if they would make a Dead Man movie. You'd only need to spend $50 million. Just cast somebody really good. You could easily make a Dead Man movie.
I got to tell you, if they had not fucked up with Constantine, I think we would have got a lot more characters dealing with that subject.
Well, now JJ's got him, so.
Well, his shit's done. They're not nothing. You see nothing in the tabloids about his stuff.
I know, but knowing JJ, he's probably.
Zaslav says no. JJ goes, oh, but no.
No Justice
goes,
League Dark?
But I want to have no, JJ, no, bad dog. Fuck JJ.
So there's going to be no Justice League Dark. If there isn't going to be a Justice League Dark, then call up Guillermo del Toro right now. Get him on this.
He is the guy that should have had it from the get-go.
Well, he offered to make. He approached Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers turned him down.
They're fucking idiots there.
Everybody was on drugs that day.
I keep getting asked this question. Why do you think they made this decision? My answer is always the same. Because they're fucking idiots.
Same thing with Marvel. Marvel turned down Guillermo del Toro because he wanted to do a Hulk television series. Like, when the dude comes to you with the idea, all you have to do is say two things. Yes, and how much.
I was going to say it how much.
We would have a really cool Hulk television series if it had been up to Guillermo del Toro. And given what he was able to spend making the first two Hellboy films, each one, what they spent was less than $100 million.
Wow.
Him and his team are freaking amazing. So, to me, Guillermo should be a part of whatever DC decides to do. His team can make some incredible costumes.
You've
And try
got
to
wild
keep-
animals in your house behind you there, Arvin.
Oh, you have no idea.
Some
They're
wild
all over
animals
the
just
place.
wandered into your house. I do want to point out something because it was brought up by both Mikey and Andre in our private chat that, with the Flash film, as much as they've supposedly shot for the film, go back and look at what they did with Back to the Future. They shot half the movie with the wrong actor and recast the lead role and reshot that half of the film, even though there are a couple of scenes that were kept in with the Stoltz, who was the original Marty McFly.
Yeah.
And you can actually see it, that is not Michael J. Fox. But the fact is they can recast, but in today's culture, technology, we have seen through, even with that shitty James Bond movie, the replacement of the stuntman's head with Daniel Craig was spotless. It really looked like Daniel Craig had done the scene. When you can do that, you can do almost anything. And you could also always go to do ADR and re-loop the dialogue with the new actor. So let's hope they figure something out, because I would like to see a cinematic Flash film dealing with the, that incident thing that they did in the Flash with Yellow Flash and a treadmill, all that shit.
Well, it would be easy just to go ahead and keep him in it, but recast someone as the other Flash in the movie. Rather than having two Ezra Millers in the film, whoever you're going to replace him with.
Zaslav hates, this is the thing that's come up, is Zaslav wanted him fired, and they have canceled the fucking movie. That's why that idea won't work. If they're just that willing to cancel the film, I think...
Well, that's Zaslav.
We
better get used to that. That's Zaslav.
Well, you remember, and it was before Zaslav, but AT&T's first thing was shutting down an actual good series.
Yeah, Swamp Thing.
So, well, we'll see what happens. Thanks, guys. I appreciate having you guys on the panel today. It sucks that we didn't have Sil here today, but we had a good show. Arwen, thanks for showing up. 24/7 Fusion Media. Keith, my partner in crime. And just remember, everybody's links is down below in the video description. Please subscribe to them. Please go watch their videos. Arwen, she's okay. 24/7 has some really good shows, especially your show on Sundays. Really good show.
Thank you.
I always try to drop in on the chat on that one. It's always engaging, and it's fun to see you just sort of in your element doing your thing.
I appreciate it, man.
But thanks.
The best.
He's okay. He's okay.
Thank you.
Now, you are really fucking good, 24. I love having you on the show.
Appreciate it.
But that's it for this week, and we are out of here.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Remember, you can find us at Pop Culture Minefield on both Facebook and Instagram. Thank you again.
Welcome